And yet again, Vince McMahon is the most brilliant person in the history of professional wrestling. I really feel like there's not going to be many people who argue that point. But when you're writing 52 weeks of TV for nearly 40 years, you're going to get a significant amount of burnout. You're going to question yourself. You're going to question all of these things. I think that Monday was a good step for the WWE. It wasn't the radical New Blood Millionaires Club change that some people wanted to see or wanted to have like an NXT invasion or whatever else people armchair book. But you're saying that we're bringing in new talent. We're going to be listening to the fans. It may just be, it might fall on deaf ears, or it just might be trying to use some misdirection and smoke and mirrors to keep everything the way it's going. But they've been building around singular stars since the start of the original Capital Wrestling, building it around Bruno Sammartino, building it around Argentino Rocca, Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Steve Austin. Like in the 90s, which is our reference point, you had Steve Austin, you had The Rock, Mankind, Triple H. You had this collection of stars. There were two at the top level, but then everybody else was fighting to be the number three. They spent so much time the past few years focusing on John Cena and Roman Reigns that it was hard for them to build up the guy that could be number two or number three. So focusing more on guys like The Miz or Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose is doing enough to rehab that, getting Finn Balor into a position where he could do more with what he has. I think the stuff they're doing with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan's tremendous. SmackDown's really fun television. And I don't necessarily hate Raw, but Raw has that extra hour, so you're going to have more bodies. You're going to have more stuff that's kind of thin, and it creates that problem.
Absolutely. And in case you're just joining us, we're talking with, and if you're not watching on Twitch, talking to Matt Ryan of Capital Wrestling, where you could go see Capital Wrestling on December 29 at 7 p.m. at the Capitol Auditorium, 301 Garden Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. You can purchase your tickets at capitaltickets.brownpapertickets.com and go check it out over at Capital Wrestling. Hopefully I'll be able to have the day off for for being able to check it out, because we always talk about like, hey, you should come by, but I'm always working, so. Yeah, please. I mean, you're telling me. So one more question. Actually, I was thinking about this earlier in the day, and I'm so glad I remembered it to ask you. So obviously with Impact making their making their resurgence, their rebranding, you have NWA doing their thing. Who knows what this new company is going to be, presumably with Cody and the Bucks, and Ring of Honor, obviously, with their upcoming Supercard at Madison Square Garden. I look at all the talent that's out there in wrestling, and there's a lot of talent that go from company to company, whether it be like Impact talent going to the Indies or anything of that sort. I mean, I exclude most Ring of Honor talents from there because mostly they're on exclusive contracts. Does it hurt the companies like Impact who allow their talents to go other places? Like, you want people to come and tune into your brand to see this person, where, okay, well, now you can see them, at your local, show in Kentucky, something like that. So anyway, obviously it helps the talent because they're able to, get work wherever they want. But how do you feel about that as far as, like, if you're a company trying to build your brand, yet people are allowed to go wherever they want?
Well, that's if you don't have people under exclusive contracts, or you don't have a pay structure or a budget that allows for exclusive contracts, you can look at it as a positive. All of these wrestlers, you're using them as marketing and advertising. These are guys that are on your television. They're being promoted as talent that are on your show every week, that appear at your events. And you're not running 50 states. If you're Impact Wrestling, you're running a very select group of areas. If they were running house shows and live events, I think it would be a different conversation and a different situation entirely. But when you're a company that subsists off of television tapings, pay-per-views, and doing some big events in different parts of the country and doing these Twitch shows, it's all over the place. And right now, this is pretty much the best thing for Impact, because they'll see a Sami Callihan on a show, or they'll see a Pentagon Jr., a Ray Fenix, an LAX. They'll see them at this show, and they'll want to look them up and see what they're doing and follow them on social media, do a Google search, and they'll see them on Impact Wrestling, and that'll draw them to your Twitch channel, your YouTube channel, and even your TV show, making that a thing they want to put on their DVR. So it's essentially an initial walk-in to, hey, this is some of the stuff you could see every single week.
Yeah. Well, good points. Anyway, before I let you go, anything else you want to kind of throw out there for people? Again, you could check out Capital Wrestling Presents World War IV, Saturday, December 29 at 7 p.m., Capitol Auditorium, 301 Garden Street in Hoboken. Go to capitaltickets.brownpapertickets.com to purchase your tickets, and then you can always check them out, on the many outlets. You can check them out on Twitch here as well. You could also check them out at, obviously, Global Wrestling Network. You can check them out in many different places. So, Matthew, before I let you go, anything else you'd like to say to people?
I'm just looking for a true alternative. If you're one of the people that watches Raw and SmackDown every week and you complain about there not being a true alternative, be a part of the conversation with us. Watch Capital Wrestling every Monday at 6 p.m. on Fight, or watch the Capital Wrestling Network. We have two 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week channels dedicated to streaming Capital Wrestling, new and old episodes, all 90 as of Monday, 90 episodes. And you can do that through the Zenither app and the Ginico USA app. We have 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week content for you there on the Capital Wrestling Network. We also have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook channel, and we're on all forms of social media. Follow us on Twitter at Capital Wrestling. That's wrestling, not wrestling. Leave off the last G for goodness. Follow us on Instagram at Capital Wrestling, and obviously Facebook.com/Capital Wrestling. We want to be the company that you can go to and embrace all the different facets of professional wrestling, the over-the-top athleticism, the sports entertainment factor. We have the Danger Sanctuary, which features Jimmy Rave. And if you don't know who Jimmy Rave is, I don't know if you're an actual fan of independent professional wrestling. And we do Timmy Danger does faith healing. Timmy Danger has faith healed people. He has risen cripples out of wheelchairs. He's cured people of diabetes. He's cured a man's broken neck and broken heart. And he might be the Sapphire Television champion on Saturday night, December 29th. But if you like hard-hitting, athletic action, Matt McIntosh versus Ken Dixon. If you like brawling, it's going to be MV Young and Logan Black in the second ever Capital Combat match. The first Capital Combat match ended up with a car window being broken. Less said about that, the better. But you've got these guys going back into action. Who the hell knows what will happen? You've got the Ugly Ducklings. You've got Smiley and Juba, Ariella Nix, Paul Jourdain, the Meadowlands Monster, who stands in at 7 feet tall, managed by Zach Amico, who calls himself the Jersey Devils' favorite deacon. And that's a horrifying thing to think about out loud and a really hard thing to say. But we want you to come give us your opinion. Watch our show. Watch us every single week. Watch a few back episodes. Follow the stories of Matt McIntosh, Mike Law, Sonny Kiss, Timmy Danger, all of these people with all of these stories that are open for you, absolutely free every single week. Give us a chance. Embrace the new wave of professional wrestling. Embrace Capital Wrestling.
Absolutely. And again, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time. hopefully I can get out and catch this show, and obviously we'll be in touch at some point. But enjoy your holiday. Thank you again so much for chiming in, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you too, my friend. Have a great day, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Take care. Thank you.
Take care.
And there he goes, Capital Wrestling executive, producer Matt Ryan, and yeah, let me have a little fun here, because during this interview, oh my God, the the Twitch chat just blew up. I don't know where you all came from. I mean, I guess thanks for tuning in. But one thing, excuse me, one thing I will say, for anybody who has tuned in and try to be a troll and to try and get me pissed off, yeah, it's funny. It's actually really funny. After a little while, obviously I timed out a couple people because it got a little annoying, but that's okay. Again, if you're watching, then there might have been some curiosity, other than to be a complete dick. We'll put it that way. But either way, you tuned in. You're helping me out one way or another. So, you can try and get under my skin all you want, but you ain't pissing me off, boy. That's for damn sure. But anyway, that was so awesome of Matt to come on and to talk a little bit about Capital Wrestling. And, and I mean it when I say that he puts on a really good show, him and his team over at Capital Wrestling. So it's not like, because he's my guest, I'm going to bullshit you and say, hey, go watch this, or because he's a friend, I'm going to, if he was a friend of mine and I didn't like what he did and how he ran things, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, I would still have him on, but I wouldn't be giving them the praise that it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of determination, it's very admirable for what they're doing. So, at least there's that. So, yeah, absolutely. So, let me take a quick break for a little bit. I'm actually going to pull up some music here for you. And this way you can listen to something as I'm taking a break. I haven't had a chance to really do what I really want to do, and I discussed this before, is upload matches so that people can watch something while I'm taking a break here. But I want to actually play something from DJ Classic Presents the Indie Artist Realm. It's a band that he features, is Kingdom Collapse. And I believe I'm about to play the song called Bring Me Down. And if I'm playing my cards right, this is going to be a whole mix of stuff. So hang in there tight. I'm taking a quick break. I'll be back and we'll talk a little bit more before I sign off. Hang in there. All right, and we're back with Open Mic Wrestling Night here. If you're listening to us live, it's on Twitch. And if you're listening to us, I guess, on the replay, if you will, you're listening on Fill in the Void Podcast Network and all the many ways in which you can listen to this show, including Spotify, including iHeartRadio, among other things. So thank you for tuning in or downloading or playing. It's all really appreciated. And thanks, Blake, for reminding me that Tribute to the Troops was on. I completely forgot. And now Ronda's coming up. Doesn't have her championship with her, Ronda doesn't. I guess this was before she won the title? I don't know. I don't know when they tape these things. So, that's another thing I wanted to get into, too, really quick before a couple of headlines that I kind of saw scrolling while I was on break. Because I just mentioned that Tribute to the Troops is taped. So, people on Twitter are going nuts about this, and for good reason. The